The arena where the Americans will face Panama when qualifying for the 2019 FIBA Basketball World Cup resumes is named for boxer Roberto Duran, which seems appropriate to you. Ask coach Jeff Van Gundy. He is expecting a fight. The US 6-1 visits Panama 3-4 in a second-round qualifier on Monday night, knowing that a win would put the Americans on the brink of qualifying for next year's World Cup in China. The Americans are coming off a 57-point romp over Uruguay on Friday in Las Vegas, which was followed by the 3,000-mile trip to Panama City. It's hard to prepare guys for what the intensity is on the road in a FIBA game when you're wearing USA across your chest, Van Gundy said. That might be particularly true on Monday, given that Panama will need to pull off an upset if it is going to maintain any realistic hopes of qualifying for China. The US and Panama are part of the same 6-team group in this stage of qualifying out of the Americas region, and only 3 of those 6 teams will be assured of spots in China next year. Panama lost 82-73 at Puerto Rico on Friday. It's going to be a tough game being on the road there in Panama, U.S. forward Jamil Warney said. I, personally, know how tough those road games are in other countries, so we just have to be ready. We have to go back and look at some film, get ready and improve from there. The U.S. is expected to use largely the same roster it had on Friday in Las Vegas. For the first 6 games of qualifying, the Americans picked teams of mostly G League players. But because this window of games fell at an opportune time, before the start of training camps, the U.S. was able to pull some players who were in the NBA last season, such as Sacramento's Frank Mason III, Charlotte's Dwayne Bacon, San Antonio's Derek White and Detroit's Henry Ellenson. Because we are relying on them, they can get their intensity right, they can get their game sharp, so that when they go to training camp to fight for minutes, they'll be in a good frame of mind, Van Gundy said. I think this helps us, certainly, but I think it helps the individual players as well. The US has used 37 different players so far in the 7 qualifying games. Should the Americans qualify for the World Cup, the expectation is that the roster would be filled with NBA stars. Reaching China. There are now 3 teams that have qualified for next year's 32-team World Cup that starts on August 31. China, as the host, was the lone automatic qualifier. Nigeria and Tunisia claimed 2 of the 5 available spots out of the African qualifiers with wins on Saturday. Teams on the cusp of securing their spots for next year are Senegal, Australia, Iran, Lithuania, France and the Czech Republic. It's conceivable that more than half of the spots in the field won't be decided until the final window of second-round games in February, including the vast majority of the 7 spots that will go to teams from the Americas region. Victory margin. The 114-57 win by the US over Uruguay was the 4th largest margin of victory so far in the qualifying tournament. The 3 larger ones all came in first-round games. Tunisia beat Chad 101-40 and New Zealand beat Hong Kong by 59 points on 2 separate occasions, 133-74 and 124-65. Road trip. Monday's game is the first of 3 consecutive road matchups for the Americans. They'll play in Argentina on November 29 and in Uruguay on December 2 before returning home to play Panama on February